What's up, Internet? For Albotas.com, I'm brownkidd.
I'm YaYa.
And these are our top comic picks for Wednesday, May 28th, 2014. First up, we have Trees, issue number 1, written by Warren Ellis, with art by Jason Howard.
It's not about the trees you smoke.
No. It is about alien trees, or pillars, that land on Earth, and it all takes place 10 years after these things have landed, but they have not acknowledged human beings at all. They are just these giant pillars. They're sort of sitting there, they don't really...
Yeah, they're just like, I want to be here.
Yeah.
That's about it.
They don't do anything.
They ooze sometimes.
Yeah, one oozes in Rio de Janeiro. Yes, it oozes, these like glyphs form, and it wrecks a city. But then there's like some other stuff going on with cops just shooting people for no reason, and robot cop dogs.
The very first page or two, I was confused. I was like, why are the cops just shooting and killing people? I didn't know if they were killing people, if they were like trying to shoot aliens or what. It wasn't really clear.
Yeah, I had to go back. It's just, they're shooting people. They don't say why. They're just shooting the civilians. And then it jumps to this weird guy in New York. He's kind of annoying. He's from Lower Manhattan, and he's very eager to tell people this. I'm from Lower Manhattan. I don't need the history lesson. I'm from Lower Manhattan. We know about trees better than anyone else. Don't forget that. He's running for mayor because the mayor gets to choose the police commissioner, and he wants to kind of change things.
I get it. Like, he just wants everything to go back to normal. He thinks that people are acting like this is normal, and like obviously it's not normal. You have big alien things just sitting there, and you're not really sure what's going on. Are they going to attack? Are they dead inside there? Why are they there? So he wants everything to go back to real normal, the way he remembers it when he was a kid.
Then it jumps to this guy. I liked his story the best. Some kid is an artist, and he moves to a special cultural zone, and he just moves there to be an artist because he lived in a small village and he ran out of stuff to draw. But then he moves in this cool hip apartment, and it's like all painted on the outside. And you sort of get a glimpse of his neighbors. There's like some dudes moving like a robot that looks like they disassembled, and then he sees a hot chick changing, and then he realizes it's not a chick, she has a wee-wee. And then it ends with these scientists. There's these black flowers growing on the snow, and the one scientist sort of follows the path of flowers, and then they're growing out of like metal, like a man-made object. And then it ends with a close-up of this flower, and it has the same glyphs that are on the trees that are oozing. So
it's interesting.
Number ones is always so hard to tell, but just gotta take a chance. Probably will get a few more.
I agree. Next up, Inhuman number 2. I really like Inhuman. I know you were about the first one.
Yeah.
I like the first one. I don't know. I really like Medusa. I really like her character.
She's a bad bitch. I didn't know how powerful she was. I was just like, oh, she has hair and her hair moves.
Her hair is amazing.
But then she rips a freaking giant airship thing out of the sky and slams it down.
With her hair. I really like her character. I think she's badass. Her hair is amazing. It always looks like she has a fan blowing her hair in the wind. She's a redhead. Love redheads. And the fact that Captain America is in it makes me like it even more.
So what is the story or the gist of it?
Medusa's hair. She is the queen of all of the Inhumans. Apparently her MIA husband and son are the ones that pretty much created the Inhumans. He set off a bomb, and it has a lingering cloud that won't go away. Only certain people are affected, and those are the ones that have the superpowers in their DNA, so it kind of just helps bring out that superpower that they never knew they had. It revolves around
Dante. He turned into one in the first issue, and when the cloud goes over people, it's cool because like they go in a cocoon.
Yeah.
And then when the cocoon opens, they come out in like whatever the new form is with whatever their ability is. But his mom was wrapped in one, and she died.
She didn't make it.
So not everybody makes it.
And apparently there's a guy that he's kind of picking and choosing who he thinks should stay. Like an Inhuman, if he finds a cocoon, he takes it. When they come out of the cocoon, if it's not something, I guess they weren't really clear on how he's picking and choosing, but it wasn't
he just
to
because he killed the one guy.
Yeah, it wasn't to his standards, I guess. So he punched him and killed him.
Yeah, and that was the first one. Now this one kind of picks up with Dante's. They got him, And they had like their own kingdom. It was somewhere floating, and I guess it crashed.
It fell, it crashed. So there's debris everywhere, and Captain America comes in saying, hey, we can help. I can bring in shields. We can help you get all of this together, you know, to not bring chaos. And at first she wasn't about it. Captain being Captain, he swooned her, and she was like, yeah.
But it's a lot like X-Men, where like the Xavier School was a safe haven for mutants. Their kingdom is a safe haven for Inhumans. So it ends with her, she makes like a holographic projection of herself over New York.
Over Central Park, like Manhattan.
And she makes a proclamation like, to anybody affected by this myth, come to us, we'll help you, we'll teach you how to use your new powers. You're not alone in this. And that's sort of how it ends, except with this weird devil guy.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was supposed to be Satan or...
I'm gonna say he is an Inhuman, but he knows what's going on with her husband, why her husband set off this Terrigen mist.
He knows the plan, and he's like, bitch, you're fucking it up.
Pretty much, yeah. She doesn't know what she's doing. I love the art. It's Joe Madduereira. He is my all-time favorite comic book artist. But sadly, I think issue 3 is his last one. They really only used him to reel people in, which is shady. Very interesting, very good art. Read it.
Yes.
Our final pick of the week is Avengers number 30. Picked this up because of the Original Sin headline, and I thought this would tie in on a bigger level. I had no clue how this tied into Original Sin at all.
It's also number 30.
Yeah, it's Avengers number 30. The first, I haven't read any of this run of Avengers, anything before this, but it starts off with a nice previously in Avengers, and kind of gives you the rundown. Captain America has a time gem, and the Avengers get flung 48 years into the future. No clue what any of that has to do with the Original Sin. I'm wondering if it's Tony Stark's Original Sin, because he kind of seems like the a-hole.
Yeah.
In all of this, they get flung into the future, and they meet their future selves, the future Avengers, and it seems like Hawkeye's the leader. There's no Captain America. Tony Stark's gone. Future Hawkeye is freaking badass. He's like a giant robot suit and a beard, and him and his younger self have the greatest exchange of dialogue and arrows. It's super fun. And if you're reading the Hawkeye series by Matt Fraction, you know that the lady version of Hawkeye took his dog. So his one question to his future self is, do I see my dog again? That was a nice little extra thingy. How did you feel?
Confused. Because I don't know what's going on. I'll probably want to go back and read.
Yeah.
So that I know what's going on, because I obviously we're missing something pretty major.
Yeah, I was hoping it would tie more into Original Sin in a way, like so that if you're reading that, you could kind of just jump into this and know, but it doesn't seem like you can. And
yeah,
that scares me about anything else with the Original Sin headline on it, but I liked what I read, I guess, even though I didn't know what the hell was going on. Does it make you want to know what's going on?
It does. That's why I feel like we should go and get the past ones. That's a lot.
It is a lot, but there's trades.
So yeah, we'll catch up on it and get back to you.
And real quick, we have 2 titles that did not make it for some reason or another, but they were interesting and we thought they kind of warranted talking about. First is C.O.W.L. Number 1, Chicago Organized Workers League. Superheroes working for a union, set in the 30s. The art's really good, but the story was all over the place.
I don't even know what it was about. I kept reading Skylanders. I know it's not Skylanders, but that's the only
Skylancer?
thing. Yeah. Like, I just kept reading Skylander.
There's a bad guy named Skylancer. The action in the beginning was all over the place, but the art was freaking awesome. It reminded me of like Ben Temple-Smith meets Ashley Wood, and it was really neat to look at. But yeah, it was real. A guy pees on a guy for being a peeping Tom, and they don't explain it at all.
No.
This was just a weird first issue, not the sort of first issue that makes you care.
Yeah.
And then next was Southern Bastards number 2. I like this. You didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
Why didn't you like it?
I don't know.
You don't like Southern things. You don't like anything that takes place in the South.
Maybe.
Did you like the first one?
Mm-mm.
No. It was a nice old man revenge justice story.
I didn't like it.
I like it. She's crazy.
So those were our picks. Let us know what you're reading in the comments below.
Also, let us know what you're looking forward to coming out in the future, and we'll check it out and talk about it on a future episode. See you guys.
Bye.